Through the alt season of the last cycle, Solana gained 200x in price. Similar plays are available on the marketplace currently. We all have forgotten what alt season truly means. Today, we'll finalize whether or not alt season actually started and what are the peaks you should actually be allocating your capital in to capitalize heavily on the upcoming opportunity. The opportunity that is present right now is the one that appears once in 6 years. The time is running away at these stages. It won't be this easy to make money in upcoming 6 months than in the whole 6 years ahead, if at all. Today, we're talking about alt season. Have it started? Will it start at all? Maybe it's just a Bitcoin cycle overall. I will give you 5 altcoin picks, quite safe ones, but you should not be neglecting them. You should not be hunting for 100x's as well, because 100x's, they're actually hiding in the plain sight, and I will show you something that will prove it to you. Without further ado, let's start. First of all, I wanted to focus on Solana. In order to understand where we are at the cycle currently, Solana at 24th of December in 2024, quite similar years, right, was $1.2, $1.20. 11 months later, in November of 2019, Solana was $250. Do you know the amount of multipliers that this thing did? It did 208x for people that had the balls to actually buy into it during this time. The speculation currently is that altcoins, they will not show similar type of returns because the market is rigged, because VCs essentially bought all of the supply and coins are not at similar market caps at these levels and things like that. Right now, I will actually prove to you that the market was rigged last cycle as well. And it did not stop these assets to show these type of multipliers. In order to do this, instead of the price chart, I will change it to the market cap chart. And we will try to check out exactly the same levels for the asset such as Solana around the same dates. 24th of December 2020, market cap is 56 million. At the exact top, November 2021, market cap is $75 billion. Market cap increased by 1,300x's, yet the price only increased by 200x. Why? Because venture capitalists and early insiders were constantly selling the supplies that they were getting through unlocks, which means that last cycle was rigged as well. The market was rigged as well. Altcoins were rigged as well. It didn't stop them from receiving crazy valuations. Another speculation you might have is that obviously we don't have a lot of assets at such low market cap as Solana at these levels, because essentially venture capitalists, they evolved and they decided to rig the whole thing one more time. They are pushing projects on the marketplace with high valuations already. Projects are coming out in hundreds of millions and billions out there, but still the purpose of this exercise is to open your mind, understand what is happening. Crazy gains are coming. It's just about being positioned into the assets, understand what type of assets you're actually positioned in, and understand what type of upside may essentially await your assets moving further. Everyone was screaming, this time is different. Thus far, this time is not very different. Now, I want you to listen very closely. I really want to transfer this message. I want you to share this message with people that you know around you as well. Upcoming 6 months is clear invalidation for the crypto market out there. If we're not seeing the alt season, if the assets are not growing, pretty much the cycles are invalidated, crypto is invalidated. And if you don't want to focus on 6 months, 12 months from now, 100%. If we're not seeing crazy gains in the upcoming 12 months, just means that the cycle is rigged, crypto is rigged, and nothing unfortunately is happening out of it. If you lost a bunch of money in crypto thus far, just give it one last year. You have clear invalidation out there. Just this 1 year and that's it. In comparison, even with larger assets, they are easily doing 5x at least. Even things like Solana, it can easily be doing 5x at least from these levels, right? Following the public opinion at this stage. If it's doing 5x in a matter of 12 upcoming months, these are crazy returns. You are not getting these type of returns in any type of business, only if you're growing something from scratch, right? It's very, very hard to reach 5x return over the year in business, in any type of assets as well. It's a very rare situation in comparison to default returns. The default assets are providing out there on the marketplace. And 5x, as you can understand, is very, very conservative. You also have to understand you are not early anymore. Solana did 33x's from the bottoms of the cycle, 33x's already. Bunch of assets are up as well, yet a lot of altcoins, they're close to the accumulation levels. And this is where the opportunity is. Kicking off with the list of altcoins. The first is Solana. We're starting from peaks that are quite strong out there. They've been performing quite nicely. A lot of people are saying that Ethereum would essentially outperform Solana this year. We'll see whether or not this will be happening. We cannot neglect that Solana looks kind of bullish at this stage. This chart, we've seen this chart playing out on Dogecoin and on other things out there. We should at least be seeing a conservative 2x from these levels. Some people are saying that Solana might be doing a 10x from these levels. Can you imagine this? 10x from these levels would be around $1 trillion in market cap for this asset out there. Imagine you're doing 10x in size in less than 12 months and you have clear invalidation. The reason I'm telling you that alt season is such a great opportunity about all these X's and things like this is because you clearly have the time frame. You clearly have the invalidation. You don't have this uncertainty, like you don't have to wait for 5-10 years. You have clear invalidation out there. You buy currently, you wait until the end of the year or until local top, right? Until the time you are satisfied with the gains that you actually were able to make, you just sell. This is it. This is everything you pretty much need to be executing currently at this stage of the market. Raoul Pal is someone who essentially was able to cut at the bottom on Solana. He was constantly bullish on this asset through this cycle, and he swapped his Ethereum on Solana. Not like some people out there that did that at the exact top of Solana Ethereum pair. He actually did this at the bottom, right? The long-term Sol chart is stupid bullish. I tend to agree with this at this stage. Ethereum golden cross is flashing. The reason I'm showing Ethereum here is because this is the sign around alt season out there. And with Ethereum surging up, with alts surging up, Solana should be doing quite well as well. These golden crosses, it's a very, very basic type of metric out there, but basic stupid things, they actually tend to work. The more complex you try to analyze the thing, the more complex it just becomes, right? Golden crosses, we can see that we've seen crazy pumps in altcoins since they were happening. Something like this is expected currently as well. Alt season cheat shit. A very, very popular thing that I was showing multiple times on this channel. First liquidity coming into BTC, then into Ethereum, then into large caps, and then into alt season. We've seen some action happening with Solana this cycle, with meme coins essentially happening this cycle as well. I tend to think that the same type of liquidity inflow will happen one more time. And this would be a real liquidity inflow. This would be liquidity that will be coming out of Bitcoin, the largest liquidity out there that will be coming into altcoins. This is the craziest liquidity inflow out there. And the fact that people don't believe in it currently, they're scared, that they've heard so many times about this alt season and it's not happening, is very great. Because timing situation out there, from the timing point of view, we're exactly on track as to something that we've been seeing in the previous cycles as well. That's why at the start of this video, I showed you the chart of Solana, and Solana being at $1 in December 2020 and being at $250, whilst market cap did 1,300x's, which counters your objection about VCs rugging altcoins. They rugged altcoins last cycle as well. It did not interfere with them showing crazy gains, nevertheless. So this is essentially the chart of Bitcoin dominance, and this is essentially relative strength index of BTC dominance out there, showing that we are at the similar levels before the final drop of BTC dominance. Obviously, no one would want to see second top scenario right here because it will wreck a lot of people. I will make sure to constantly update you on the upcoming situation that might be happening in this market, because there are some risk situations. I do think that we are going to $1,000 BTC at this stage, and right after that we have to be very, very cautious because we might be seeing a larger flush from there, which would be exactly a double top scenario right here, right? Make sure to subscribe to this channel, make sure to push the bell notification on, because I will update you on time on the situation that will be happening around this time. It's not that easy at this stage. It's not this blue sky out there. Market makers are doing the job. Their job is to make sure no one will able to make money. This is what are they doing out there. Study previous Trump administration to study the path ahead. The path ahead has never been brighter. This is essentially the index of dollar in comparison when Trump was becoming the president, right? And currently we can see that index of dollar was essentially going higher. Speculation is that with Trump election, with Trump inauguration, this thing will start to trend down, which means that stock market and risk assets that essentially will start to go up as well. Despite the fact that Trump definitely wants to have strong dollar and he is talking about it a lot at these stages, at the same time he was saying that he would definitely want to start certain money printing operation out there to stimulate up the economy, which will make the money cheaper, the dollar cheaper, and the assets more expensive as well, which is definitely better for our crypto out there. The trend is your friend, BTC. BTC is showing clear uptrend at these levels. The trend is your friend until the end. Right now, the trend is up. BTC open interest came down a good amount since the top. Funding rates reset. End of year holidays behind us. Next week will be the first full week of 2025 where I expect liquidity and volumes to come back into the market. We should also have the tax-related transfers behind us at that point. I am bullish on Q1. Don't get carried away by the short-term movements too much. Great overview. Now, we're moving to the list of faults. I want to say that you won't see very digit altcoins out there. They all would be quite of a large cap. But I want you to change your mindset as well. Right now, the first main thing is to be exposed and to actually survive, right? Market makers are doing everything to make sure that people won't be surviving with their coins on the market. This is the number one thing they're working tirelessly on. They have all the software, all the tools, all the teams to make sure you are out of your coins. The second thing is change your mindset. We should be seeing crazy liquidity inflows. You don't need to have large bags in one low cap, because if we are receiving crazy liquidity inflows, one low cap would be pumping like crazy. You can actually try to maybe push some bets over the range of different low caps. I was even thinking that it might actually make sense to put like $1,000 to $2,000 in a bunch of different low caps. Although I do not like the strategy, I like the strategy of concentration, because I believe if you want to make money on the market, you need to concentrate. If you want to protect money, save money, you need to diversify and have a bunch of bets out there. It's just that from the liquidity point of view, we should be receiving this much liquidity, then you would not need large bags in low caps. You would still make enough. First pick is essentially Solana. Someone should do a MicroStrategy of Solana. Who is working on this? This is essentially something from Jusu. The explanation of this is essentially someone just buying Solana and opening up the company for people to be able to buy these shares of the company, and based on the value of the assets of this company, which would be Solana, these people would essentially be buying more and more Solana with additional liquid inflows into the shares of this company. This is something that the guy essentially is suggesting out there, and I do believe that we might be seeing more and more things like this happening for a range of assets this cycle out there, especially if the MicroStrategy strategy will continue to yield nicely. Unfortunately, recent price action on shares is not that great, specifically the shares on the stock market, but BTC is doing fine. Another day, another liquidity sweep for Solana. Essentially, someone is sharing that we have a bunch of shorts opened at $230 level, and the speculation here is that we should be sweeping this liquidity and going higher at these levels. Breaking Solana flips BNB in market cap. Something that happened recently. Solana, historic monthly close for Solana. Highest candle bodied monthly close of all time. Now, you probably have seen a lot of critique from myself on this channel about Solana. Right now, I'm essentially sharing the safe and solid pick out there. And you might have this thought in the backbone that, well, everyone is talking about it, it's too much, probably it's not going to go higher. I do think this is the case where this would be the reason of why essentially it would go higher. Will it outperform Ethereum moving further or not do this well in comparison to Ethereum? No one knows. I would assume they might be doing around the same, probably with Solana slightly doing better because it just has a lower market cap. I just want you to understand the opportunity to get 5x. We assume that Solana can do 5x from these levels in a span of less than a year. These are crazy returns on any type of the market out there. That's why I'm talking about this. That's why I'm presenting. And this one is a safe pick. You won't be outperforming heavily, But in case crypto market is not dying, you would be doing quite well. This is the reason I'm showing it here. Along with the product market fit that this chain was able to achieve, along with meme coins, with AI agents that are appearing on this platform in the first place, innovation that is happening on Solana currently, and will probably continue to happen on Solana this cycle as well. This might be a pretty nice pick out there. Next altcoin on the list is proof of work blockchain Kaspa. I'm specifically talking about layer 1s currently because layer 1s were the most performing coins in the previous cycle and in the cycle before as well. Most performing altcoins. Solana did 200x's previous cycle. This cycle it already did 33x's. Imagine this. Solana just needs to do 6 to 7x's from here to do 200x's from the bottoms of this cycle. Absolutely crazy. Obviously the reason for this is because it just went too much. It just went down too much. It was too low, but still it's crazy. Kaspa has a higher hash rate market cap ratio than Bitcoin. So even in its early stages, Kaspa offers better security to valuation ratio than Bitcoin. What's even crazier, when Bitcoin was at $3 billion market cap, its hash rate was around 300 pH per second, 5x lower than Kaspa's now, undervalued. This is essentially about the security part, but security is pretty much, it's quite important for whales out there. It took Kaspa 3 years to reach the hash rate that BTC took 7 years to achieve. Where will Kaspa be in the next 4 years? These type of metrics, they might not be very interesting and important to you, but these are the metrics that tend to actually influence the price of the asset moving further. These are leading metrics. Price is lagging metric. Price always lags, as essentially revenue in any type of business, right? You do things first, and over time, you receive influence on your lagging metric, which is revenue of the business or the price of the altcoin out there. This is a very simple chart that Kaspa might be printing out 3 peaks and a domed house out there chart pattern, right? Following this chart pattern, we should have deviation slightly lower, which will probably be happening with the whole deviation of the market out there. It's very, very important to actually take focus and look on what charts of alts are showing us. Oftentimes, charts of alts, they actually can predict what will be happening with the market, right? But at these levels, at this stage, is obviously just a speculation. If this pattern will be playing out, this would be just crazy. But just from this chart point of view, it's crazy accumulation, insane accumulation for a period of time. These type of accumulations in the bull market, they usually are ending up with the huge pump upside right after. Mara discovered that it could more efficiently mine for Kaspa than Bitcoin, but failed to realize this also must mean that Kaspa is superior monetary technology out there. So the thing there is that essentially this is one of the largest Bitcoin miners out there. What he's doing currently, he's taking part of his BTC miners and he's turning them on to mine Kaspa. And for Kaspa that he actually was able to mine, he's buying BTC, because for the power of his Bitcoin miners, small part, he's actually able to mine more Kaspa than he would mine BTC. In monetary value, he's essentially getting more. And this money he is using at these stages to essentially sell Kaspa and buy BTC. The question is whether or not this dynamic will actually be changing at a certain stage of time. Kaspa is the end game. A new update on Kaspa testnet, 10 blocks per second, making it the fastest proof of work blockchain out there. Absolutely crazy, if you would ask me. Current market cap of Kaspa is $3.2 billion. FDV is very, very close to the current market cap, so you cannot be afraid that venture capitalists or insiders will be dumping on you, right? And the question is whether or not it will be able to do a 10x from these levels. I think it's quite realistic. 10x from these levels over the cycle is actually quite realistic. If you want to be a very conservative type of person out there, let's put it at 5 to 7x. It's absolutely crazy to be receiving 5 to 7x. Which with quite high certainty, if you would essentially ask me, in the time span of less than 12 months out there. This is the opportunity that we're in currently. Obviously, most of us, we were not investing in this asset in the bear market, and people that were able to buy it in the bear market, they are receiving hundreds of X's. But this opportunity for Kaspa is closed right now. Yet, it is not closed for a bunch of alts out there. Next proper stable altcoin pick on the list is Aerodrome. At this level, it's at $1.15 billion in market cap, quite safe from the price action point of view. Chart looks nice as well. Essentially, it's a DEX on base ecosystem. Base ecosystem is essentially being shielded currently and being pushed currently as the largest Ethereum layer 2 at this stage that is being used the most, at least in the degenerate part of the marketplace. The speculation out there that Binance will be listing Aerodrome quite soon. And we're seeing this from this tweet. It's officially the let's touch base after the holidays season, right? And Aerodrome is essentially sharing a beautiful meme out there. This is a very, very alpha piece of information. I was very curious when I found it in the first place. In 2024, based on Solana were the fastest growing chains by DeFi metrics, with basis, DEX, volume, and TVL around 40% of Solana's. Radium and Aerodrome analysis reveals basis more robust volumes due to major stable trading pools. Will base DeFi metrics flip Solana's in 2025? Well, to explain, there is no DeFi on Solana happening. Mainly, I do think because most of the money in crypto currently is in between Ethereum whales. And Ethereum whales, they don't want to put their assets anywhere else. They don't want to put their assets on Solana in large chunks because Solana is a centralized network out there. It had the downtime, it was breaking out several times as well. People just don't trust it this well, right? Ethereum is a decentralized ecosystem out there, and we can easily see this through DeFi pools that are present out there. We can see that through the assets right here. We have a very small list of meme coins here, and mostly people are farming BTC here. People are farming USDT here, USDC, right? Euro. And here on Solana, in the DeFi part, people are mostly farming meme coins out there. Meme coins are going to zero in the bear market, 100% this is happening. And these things, they will not go to zero in the bear market. Dollar probably is not going to zero in the bear market, right? It's not happening. This, why? The speculation is that Aerodrome will essentially be flipping most of the DeFi stuff on Solana, the excess stuff on Solana, right? And will be doing quite well moving further into the cycle. Very, very stable, institutionalized peak out there. Aerodrome facilitating nearly 60% of all swap volumes, helping large coin-based products like CBBTC, 73% of all on-chain volume. Virtuals also has leveraged the Aerodrome flywheel since the beginning. A very, very interesting thing that virtuals are essentially part of the ecosystem there. And we can definitely see that Aerodrome has a monopoly in terms of the base indexes out there. An absolute incredible year for Aerodrome. It will close out the year with revenues equal to 3.1x Uniswap Labs, crazy, 3.2x PancakeSwap, largest DEX of the previous cycle. All of the generate activity was happening on BNB chain, 5.7x Curve, 9.4x DYDX. Bunch of these projects, they're actually large in market cap, and this is exactly the same thing out there. We have to follow leading metrics right here. Here in our case, revenue is actually a leading metric for the DeFi protocol out there in comparison to the price. Price is always the lagging metric out there. 21x Balancer, 71x Camelot, and Infinite X Uni holders. Essentially largest revenue for the DEX out there, which is absolutely crazy. Right now, the market cap of this thing is 1.15 billion. FDV is only 2 times larger, which is not that bad in comparison to some other projects that are present in the marketplace out there. The question is whether or not do you think it will be able to be making 10x over the course of the upcoming 12 months? My take is that yes, it will actually be able to make a 10x. Moving further, especially with expectation of the market of Ethereum outperforming moving further into the cycle. 10x on the time span, less than 12 months, with quite nice certainty out there, is absolutely crazy. You're not getting there anywhere. I keep continue repeating this thought because I want you to understand this. We are at the crazy part in the market currently. These things should be happening moving further. With all the peaks I'm sharing here, you also are receiving certain safety because these peaks, they were not dead. They were performing through the things that were happening. Most of us, they're not that alive in comparison. You're getting safety, but you're also getting a small amount of access in comparison to the low caps out there. But these are very, very close things to almost guaranteed out there. Obviously, crypto can go to zero any second, but it's a very, very interesting thing out there. These are real companies. Last but not least is SPX, which is not an altcoin. It's actually a meme coin. But I still decided to show it because this one is very, very interesting. I've been in Ethereum OG meme coins since the bear market, and I never heard of SPX before it actually started to pump. And from my point of view, what we are seeing on SPX playing out is essentially Doge fractal out there, right? And it was playing out on a bunch of alts already, right? And what we can see is that we essentially reached previous all-time highs of the previous cycle. SPX obviously did not have previous cycle, but I'm counting on the October pump, right? And then we surged up back higher, and at least we showed the 2x. We showed the 2x on Dogecoin, which is a very, very large asset out there. On SPX, we can see the same thing happening currently. We reached previous all-time highs of October pump. We reaccumulated. It's very, very interesting that on popular meme coins, this reaccumulation period is happening way faster. Very interesting. And we started to surge back higher. This far from us breaking up from these levels, we showed 50% movement. So we can speculate that actually we should continue to uptrend. We should continue to go higher from here. And if you want to kind of position yourself in the meme coins out there, you obviously have pep up this cycle, which probably will be doing quite well. I would say like 3 to 4x, very, very conservative, you will be receiving from these levels. Maybe even 5. I'm talking about the conservative estimate out there. SPX is kind of this new thing out there. It has a very, very interesting underlying cultish mechanisms, because the goal of the project is to actually flip S&P 500. And this is very crazy. And this can be very, very big. It's almost like GameStop. Just imagine this. Imagine this really unleashing into whole new GameStop out there. Meme coin mine share the lowest since last April. Things rotated fast. Yet SPX 6900 is actually showing new all-time highs right now. We can also see it right here. AI is the main thing. Meme coin is the second thing currently. Meme coin mine share is only at 14% at these stages, yet it was dominating through most of the year out there. And SPX is showing new all-time high. There is no chart. I love you. We are here. Yeah. This is a very, very interesting thing that is also present in the SPX community, that there is no chart. There is no chart. You're pretty much just buying. You're just buying and holding. Like a very clever setup in the first place. And I do believe that most of the supply of this thing was probably bought up by larger whales out there, because this thing was accumulating. Like, you do not see the chart right here, but what was happening before this pump is this thing was accumulating for a year plus at the bottoms, around $10 million in market cap. 100% a bunch of supply was accumulated by certain group of whales out there. They came up with Murat, they came out with this interesting thesis, and it's crafted really, really well. Like, from the way it's crafted, it should be going even higher. It's kind of easy to say this when it's pumping and things like that, but again, I want you to open up your mind. I want you to understand where we are currently. I'm not also saying that this thing is going to see 100x from here, right? I'm just saying that this is a stable peak that, in comparison to default returns that you can get on the default assets out there, with way lower risk than trying to catch up like a new runner on meme coins where you're mostly just losing money, right? This thing is quite nice. SPX 6900 and Giga have the most consistent holder growth in crypto this cycle. I do believe, and I do know from certain sources as well, that most of your memes out there that are doing quite nice in the large market caps, especially at these levels, when we don't have huge liquidity inflows into the market, they have heavily supply controllage by a group of people. It just depends on what type of people are controlling the supply out there. Thus far, we're definitely seeing that probably a nice group of people is controlling the supply on SPX, or at least they are planning for way higher moving further. And more importantly, just like Bitcoin, SPX 6900 and Giga turn every holder into a die-hard believer. This is a textbook formula for how crypto assets go to tens and hundreds of billions. Personally, I like SPX more than Giga, but for the tendencies that are present in between men currently, I do think that Giga might be doing quite well. SPX 6900 and Giga are the Doge and ship of this cycle. Many people need to see it happen before they can believe. But all of the money will be made by those who believe it before they see it happen. Very interesting how essentially careful and how smart this thing is psyched in the first place. This thing is crafted. Very, very smart crafting out there. I definitely appreciate the way it's set up. Breaking, SPX 6900 market cap is now greater than 56% of all American public traded companies. Obviously, the liquidity in the stock market is way larger and way better than in any type of meme coin out there. But this is just funny, and this is just interesting to be able to share these type of things. And for outside people that don't know what type of liquidity is present in these meme coins, that liquidity is very, very thin in comparison to obviously the liquidity that is present in the stocks of these companies, right? They're just looking at this news and it's crazy for them. It's a very, very nice piece of free marketing. And this take It's just crazy. What's happened with SPX 6900 feels historic. I'm tempted to roll the dice and lock my tokens until next cycle. Very interesting what Solstice is saying here. And it's interesting, like, if she's crafting this type of psyop out there as well. She's just trying to support the whole thing and kind of crafting the narrative between the holders. Absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy to be essentially doing things like this currently, right? But if you would ask me if I would love to just lock the supply on some of my memes that I was buying in the bear market, currently I would say yes. So I won't be able to essentially touch them, which is a very, very interesting thing out there. This is the overview. These are the altcoins at this stage. Let me know if you actually agree with my take. You maybe think that best case scenario, these things are doing 2 to 3x's. They are the tops and you should not be buying them, right? Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure to press the like button and subscribe to this channel not to lose this type of updates moving further. And I'll be seeing you tomorrow.